We had to amend the lease. We had to create a new lease.
When?
July 1st, after he paid the deposit, and this is the story. Before he paid the deposit, he told me it was just him and his 2 children.
Okay.
And after I received the deposit, I found out later that his girlfriend was going to be living there, and I had to
So then don't let him move in.
You're right. There were a lot of red flags, and, you know, he came, he handed me a stack of cash. So I guess I let the money kind of jade me, because the first thing this lady said when she called me was, "Are you black?" That's the first thing she said, and Joseph and I had a conversation about that. And she said, "I researched you. I found out what you do for a living." She researched me on Google as if I was renting from her. And
all right, well, she's allowed to research you on Google, but the other discussion, it sounds like, was inappropriate. I want you to focus on the washing machine for a minute.
Yes.
Because then you say that he wanted to change the washing machine just because they didn't like the top load.
Absolutely.
But he sent you a picture saying the door won't latch, there's soap and water all over the floor. That's not just a preference.
This was before that. The washing machine mysteriously stopped working after I told him I wasn't going to replace the washer and dryer because it was a preference.
Do you have that? Do you have evidence of that?
No, that was a phone conversation.
All right.
During the walkthrough, as you can see, the door was closed just fine. The door was not broken when he moved in.
I'm just struggling to understand how a brand new washer, why you would replace the entire washer if it was broken after 2 weeks. I mean, did you not have a warranty on it?
Well, I didn't buy it from Sears or anything. I bought it from an appliance store, like an aftermarket store. There's a place in Las Vegas.
Then why don't they offer warranties?
I guess it's as is. But the washing dryer did work. It
yeah,
worked.
so don't, you know, as is usually doesn't apply to new items.
Yes.
As is usually something that we refer to when we're talking about used items, because you buy them without any assurance of the quality.
Okay.
Sir, this was concerning for me, the issue with the ants.
Right.
And you provided her with some pictures of them.
Yes.
Which were actually just from Google.
Yes.
Right? You just Googled the ants and sent her pictures from Google,
yes.
right? And your reason for doing that, you told us, was because you were at the hospital with your
yes.
daughter.
I was at the hospital and she kept asking what
All
kind
right,
of
well,
ants
but I
those
want to
were.
ask you about that. Can you go to page 37 of her evidence? This is Exhibit A of the plaintiff's evidence. And you see at the top of that, those are the Googled picture of the ants, right?
Yes.
And then she says to you, don't send me photos from Google.
Right.
Send me photos from the house.
Yes.
And you say, we're at Circus.
Yep.
Were you at the Circus hospital?
No, that was out the next day. Because she was saying, send me the pictures of the ants.
No, it's the same day, September 17th.
But no, she had asked for me to send pictures of the ants. And I sent a picture from the Google pictures. But then she's like, send me pictures of.
Well, right, because anybody can Google some ants and say, hey, I have a picture of some ants.
Yes.
She wants to see the ant infestation.
Because she asked me what they look like. And I just was at Circus at that time.
But my point is, you told us in here, I couldn't send the pictures right away because I was at the hospital with my daughter, which is very sympathetic. But you were at Circus. I'm going to open this up to my colleagues.
I don't have anything.
Just a couple of things. Mr. Freeman, what do you do for a living?
I drive a truck.
And what is the status with your mother?
She's all right now.
She's better now?
Good.
Yes.
All right, I have nothing further.
No.
Okay, great. I'm going to excuse the parties while we deliberate in this matter. Thank you both very much. We've reached a verdict. It's unanimous. I'm sure both of you will agree that when this landlord-tenant relationship began, it was on better terms than when it ended. This got a little bit nasty between the two of you, and it didn't necessarily have to. But the important thing is we started out with a lease, an agreement, a contract between you, Mr. Freeman, and the plaintiff, where you agreed to pay rent for a year. That's
yes.
what a lease is about. Now, many lease agreements carry penalties in them for breaking the lease. I note that your lease did not. However, the law says that when you essentially break a lease, whether there's a penalty or not, the landlord is entitled to your being responsible for rent until she rents the place again. You understand that?
Yes.
So as far as your responsibility for rent, we unanimously agree that you owe the plaintiff rent for 2.5 months. As far as the repairs are concerned, we've concluded the plaintiff is also owed a reasonable sum for the cleaning and the repairs, and we have concluded that the total amount the plaintiff is owed, combining the rent owed, subtracting the security deposit, and the repairs that had to be made, and the cleaning costs, that the plaintiff is entitled to a verdict in her favor of $3,500. So the verdict of the court is in favor of the plaintiff for $3,500.